Oh, I almost forgot to give y'all this one. This right here. If you notice, let me turn off all this other stuff. Right? If you notice, right, we're gonna just zoom this up and we're gonna look at, right, what are going on here. Right? You see over here, we have this right here. This is our right. You see that right there, it says opening range PM, sell side and buy side. Right, sell side and buy side. So that's the lowest low and the highest high made in between 1:30 p.m. and 2 p.m. Right, that's our opening range for the afternoon. Right, if you don't know where I get that from, we have us a handy dandy graphic that we call the time is king graphic, with like a bunch of important information here. So the opening range is the first 30 minutes of a thing. What's the thing that we're looking at right now? We're looking at the New York afternoon session, right? We're looking at the New York afternoon kill zone. So the New York kill zone starts at 1:30. So the first 30 minutes of this right here is from 1:30 to 2 o'clock. So that's an opening range, right, that the algorithm understands. So that's the highest high and lowest low in the afternoon, right? You can use that dealing range as, you know, to help you make your trading decisions. All right, so we're going to get into that. Now, you see this 1 minute fair value gap right here, right? And you see this 1 minute fair value gap right here. And do you see, right, when we're here engineering this liquidity, do you see how price is just respecting these fair value? It's using these fair value gaps, right? Out of everything that's in here, right, you can, you know, it kind of overshoots a little bit, but you can really see how it's utilizing these fair value gaps, even over here, even right there, even right here. It's utilizing these, right? Well, Tim, why is it utilizing those? What's so important about them? I'm so glad you asked that question. If you look here, right, in this whole little gobbledygook of price action right here, we're just gonna look at this whole little gobbledygook of price action right there, right? Gobbledygookity, okay? If we come here and stretch this out, right? Open it up, stretch it out, right? So now we see here, right, that price. Let me move this over a little bit so nobody's confused, right? We see here that price was coming up, right? Right? What do you notice about this over here, right? As price was coming up, right? All right, we don't see any real, like after this displacement right here, it's a bunch of high resistance moves. Right? There's a tiny little fair value gap right here, but it's a bunch of overlapping candles as we go up, right? After this displacement right here. But when we make this high, right, boom, we get some displacement right there. That's the first SIBI that was created once we got in this area over here, right? Boom, right? And then as we're coming back up, you say, Tim, we have a BISI right there. Forget that BISI. That BISI is inside all of this gobbledygook, right? Then when we get up here, boom, that's the first BISI that we created breaking outside of this, right? And then when we look at this whole area as a whole, right? Look at this whole area as a whole. This is the first SIBI and the first BISI that was created in this entire range, right? And Michael taught us, right? Michael taught us here that you want to look at the relationship of the first and its inverse for a dispensation in time, for a range of consolidation. We always want to look at the relationship of that first and its inverse, right? So that's the first fair value gap created in this range off of displacement. That's the inverse, right, off of displacement of that right there. The first BISI, the first SIBI, and we extend those through price, right? They're extended through price. Why are we extending them through price? Because this area right here is now an area of anticipated support. What makes it that, Timothy? I'm glad you asked that question. Because we've offered buy side and sell side delivery, and then we left that area. That makes that a balanced price range, right? We don't want to see price coming back down below that if price is truly bullish, okay? And so, since we have a balanced price range, right, we want to have something we can identify as an anticipatory reactionary point, right? And so, as you see, when we came over here into our afternoon session, right, we created a low, right? We went up, we created a high. This is our dealing range, right? It's a bullish dealing range, okay? The range has been created. We are bullish. What do we want to see engaged first? We want to see the sell side attacked first. What do we attack first? Boom! We attack the sell side liquidity first, right? Not only do we attack the sell side liquidity first, we come down. Let's get our Fibonacci tool and set it to CE equilibrium. Go to the high, come to the low of our latest expansion leg, right? Because you can have dealing ranges within dealing ranges within dealing ranges. So now, looking at this bullish dealing range that we're in, right, we create an algorithmic bullish dealing range that we're identifying based off of time, right? This is a bullish dealing range based off of price action. We attack our algorithmic dealing range sell side first, which is what we want to see because we're bullish and because we're in a buy program. And then we come down into our discount anticipatory reactionary point based off of our balanced price range, right? We hit it, right? Kiss it. Institutional order flow entry drill rallies back up, right? Now we have come into a macro time, right? The macro's time job is to attack liquidity that has not been touched. Okay? So you say, Tim, look at here. We got liquidity right there that we're super close to, and we can just go take it if we're bullish. Yes, we can. But what is Phil? Phil is a dirty dog. So what does Phil do? Phil drop it like it's hot. Take out that sell side liquidity, trade down into our very first fair value gap that was created, institutional order flow entry drill, just like we did with the inversion. I mean, the inverse of that, right? The bullish one, institutional order flow entry drill, institutional order flow entry drill. In case y'all can't see those wicks, let me draw the wick out for you, right? So that wick there comes down to here, and then that wick there comes down to here. Right? So, institutional order flow entry drill, institutional order flow entry drill, right? Once we get the institutional order flow entry drill off of our very first imbalance, trading down to our inversion fair value gap, right? We already traded to our reclaimed fair value gap, trade down to our inversion fair value gap. Boom! Where do we go? Right back to the opposite side of our afternoon dealing range that was established during that opening range of the afternoon, consolidate there at the high, and then boom, move back up to the next level of anticipated movement. That's that event horizon of the event horizon of the event horizon, right? Remember, we marked that out. This middle part right there, that was the event horizon in between that 1.5 standard deviation and that 1 standard deviation down here. So that was the one standard deviation, that was the 1.5, and that red line in the middle was the event horizon for that, right? And then once price got up here around this event horizon, right, and we were hanging around in this area right here, still looking bullish, what's the next level of liquidity that can be anticipated? Yes, we do have that upper quadrant up there, but we're hanging around event horizon. What's some other liquidity in this huge range? That's a very large range. So what's some other liquidity that we can target? We can identify, if you look, we can run a fib tool from this quadrant, right? That quadrant right there, can't get it exact right now, down to that quadrant right there, right? And then the halfway point in between those two is event horizon, right? Where did price go to, right? After we consolidated on top of that high, where did it go to? Right there to that event horizon and backed up off of it.
Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Y'all do me a favor, man. Hit a like for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed.